Hello and welcome to the station on serotonin syndrome. So this is a management-based station where a candidate's expected to interpret the physical observations of a patient and identify the presence of serotonin syndrome. The candidate's expected to recognise that this is a medical emergency and explain the urgency of that situation and principles in management to a concerned relative. So let's have a look at how this station was structured. So from the question, we can see that the patient is switching from fluoxetine to venlafaxine, according to prescribing guidelines, however has developed sweating, muscle stiffness, is pyrexial, tachycardic, tachypneic, hypertensive, in the absence of any signs of infection, because we've got sort of a normal FBC and normal CK level, so we know that this isn't a neuroleptic malignant syndrome. So it's more than likely, given the medications that the patient is on, that this is a serotonin syndrome and that this is a medical emergency. And so that's something the examiners would expect you to pick up on whilst you're interpreting the question. So when it comes to then introducing yourself and setting the scene, if you notice, I did my best to pre-warn the relative that I wanted to discuss the situation with him urgently. And so if you're bringing that sense of urgency into the station, and bringing that out early on, that this is a medical emergency, then it's much easier to manage the anxieties of a relative without falling into the trap of suddenly informing the relative that this is a medical emergency halfway through the station or 3/4 of the way through the station, which could obviously then cause the relative's anxieties to raise considerably during the scenario and make it much more challenging to navigate. So as you saw on the video, the main points of note really are exploring the relative's understanding of the situation, and then explaining the situation by avoiding the use of jargon. And so obviously I asked about whether the patient, the father, knew about how potentially how antidepressants might work, and then he was aware of this phrase, a happy chemical, and then we could use that as a way in to explain that serotonin is one of the chemicals that we're aiming to increase using antidepressant treatment. However, because of the way that the fluoxetine was switched to the venlafaxine, there was an overdose of serotonin that was occurring in the brain, and that's responsible for the current signs and symptoms that his son is suffering with, and that the condition is an emergency. It's been recognised early, and that the decision is that he's going to need immediate transfer to a medical ward, where they would continue to manage his current symptoms. But in the meantime, we've stopped all of his medication, and that he will start to improve over the next 48 to 72 hours once all of the drugs are cleared from his system, and then we can then consider a retrial with venlafaxine. But this would need to be done with guidance from the medical team, the hospital pharmacist, and with strict monitoring of his physical health. So those would be the main key points that come across in the structure of this particular station. And then in terms of some of the script lines, so as I said, the introduction and setting the scene is really a key opportunity just to bring across that we are concerned about his son's condition, and that's something I want to discuss with you, and I want to discuss what the ongoing management is. And if you're just portraying that sense of urgency, as I said, then it's much more easier to navigate the station than entering the station quite calmly and having a rather calm discussion before springing upon to the relative that this is a medical emergency. Because when I've examined candidates who've done that, the relative's anxieties just go through the roof, going, well, what are you doing here? Why didn't you tell me this is a medical emergency already? Why are you spending time talking to me about it? So in order to avoid that kind of situation, as I said, the introduction and setting the scene is an important way of avoiding that. So, hello Mr. Ashford, my name is Dr. X and I'm one of the psychiatrists that work here on the ward. I've come to speak to you today about your son Brian, as we do have some urgent concerns about him that I want to discuss with you right now. Could you share with me your understanding as to why he is in hospital? And then obviously we can tailor our explanation to his understanding. And then, as you saw on the video, I used the question about, has anybody explained how, would you happen to know how antidepressants work at all? And then again, you can tailor your explanation from there. So the aim of antidepressants is to increase certain levels of chemicals in the brain to help improve mood and lower anxiety levels. And one of these chemicals is called serotonin. And whilst he was on the ward, we aimed to switch his medication from fluoxetine to venlafaxine safely. However, he appeared to develop an excessive amount of this chemical called serotonin, and that's responsible for the signs and symptoms that he's currently presenting with. Does that make sense? And the reason I wanted to discuss this with you urgently is that it is classed as a medical emergency. However, we have recognised this early whilst he's been an inpatient here in the hospital. So again, that will help at least alleviate some of the father's anxiety to help you through the station. So then our next steps are to stop his medications and refer him to a medical ward for further investigations. So they may also want to do further investigations whilst he's on the medical ward to confirm the diagnosis. He'll be monitored until his symptoms return to normal. His symptoms could return to normal over the next 24 to 72 hours. And then at that stage, we would need to discuss his management with the hospital pharmacist and the medical team before considering a retrial of an antidepressant. And the key things are that we would start him on the lowest possible dose of this medication and increase it very slowly with strict medical supervision. So that's obviously not a comprehensive list of the situations where serotonin syndrome could become apparent, but in terms of CASC-related situations, we're obviously looking for anything in the question if a patient has been cross-titrated from an SSRI to another SSRI very quickly, or from an SSRI to an SNRI very quickly, as was in this particular station. They could use tricyclics or monoamine oxidase inhibitors, also known to cause serotonin syndrome. Patient may be on opioid pain medications or bupropion. I mean, those would be some of the common medications that we might see in clinic, but normally with CASC-related situations, they would use very obvious situations so that a candidate can pick up on the fact that this is serotonin syndrome. There may also have a situation where a patient's taken an overdose of an SSRI or an SNRI, either intentionally or unintentionally, and developed a serotonin syndrome as a result of that, or the patient's been using illicit drugs, amphetamines or MDMA-based illicit drugs that can cause this. And then in terms of the investigations, it would be general investigations, really just to rule out any other source of why the patient might be presenting like this. So doing a full blood screen, obviously, to rule out any raised white cell counts, checking the urine for any infection, doing a chest X-ray for similar reasons, CT scan, and a lumbar puncture if required. If this was a station where you're discussing it with a consultant, I mean, a consultant may or may not just quiz you a little bit more on terms of what other things you could be doing to medically stabilise the patient. So obviously oxygen, fluids to maintain hydration, muscle relaxants, and then the medical team may start prescribe medications that block the production of serotonin, so medications like cipraheptidine, and also ongoing monitoring of blood pressure, so any other medications that they may need to be required to reduce the patient's blood pressure. There's no long-term, in terms of the prognosis, there's no long-term complications once serotonin's returned to normal, and as I said, the symptoms should generally resolve over 24 to 48 hours once all the medications are cleared from the patient's system. So I hope that tutorial has been useful for you. Good luck with it, and I will see you in the next tutorial.